Welcome to In Her Voice. My name is Kelly Covert, and I am passionate about helping women live authentically by listening to their inner voice. Get ready to be inspired by women of all walks of life that have set aside their should-bes and not good enoughs and are standing in their true voice, the voice of wisdom that each and every one of us has inside. Hello, you guys. This is Kelly. Thank you for being here and pressing play, for letting me be in your ears today, because I have something really special to share with you. That's right, I'm sharing. And as you guys know, February is my month of sharing, so this fits along super nicely. And what I want to share with you today is a question. My question is, what's your story? And are you letting that define you? So often in our lives, we decide something to be true about a situation, about who we are, or about who someone else is, about how people interact with us or don't interact with us. And oftentimes, the story that we tell ourselves about any given situation is seen through a lens of emotion, of past experiences, of things that people told us 10, 20, 30, sometimes 40 years ago that we decided to believe was true about who we are and about how we experience things in this world. And it is not until we can come to the understanding that the way we perceive everything, that the story we tell about any given situation is not necessarily true, that we will be free from that story. So let me give you a really good example of that story. For a really long time in my life, I felt like I didn't belong when I was like in a big group. Like I always felt sort of awkward. Like if I went to a party, I felt like I had to kind of perform to fit in. And I would go to a party or I would go to an event. And this was, in high school, in college, and even into my adult life. And I would feel fake. Like really, that's the word for it. I would feel like I was putting on this act of this is the fun Kelly, and this is the smart Kelly, or this is the super intelligent Kelly. And I would say things that maybe I wouldn't normally say, or, make apologies or agree with something that I didn't even agree with. Have you guys ever done that? Here's a perfect example. I remember being in college and I loved Tchaikovsky so much, the music of Tchaikovsky, like the Nutcracker and Tchaikovsky symphonies. It was so beautiful. And I remember someone said something to me about how Tchaikovsky was like just kind of like a hack. It was sort of this a music major moment of this person spouting off about how they didn't like Tchaikovsky because his music wasn't serious. And I agreed with them. I agreed with him because I felt like if I said what I really was saying, that they would think that I was stupid or that I wouldn't know anything about music. And I was afraid of that. I was afraid of feeling that way. And so for the longest time, my story was like in these social situations that I have to be smart. I have to be who this person thinks I am in order for them to like me, in order to fit in. And all that left me after every single experience like that was not a feeling like I fit in, was not feeling like I was smart, was not feeling like people liked me. It left me feeling like a big fat fake. And the reason is because I was faking. I wasn't being me. I was being who I thought I should be. I was telling myself a story of what it took for me to fit in, of what it took for me to be liked, of what it took for me to belong in any given group or situation. And so I was never being true to myself. And what I felt often was those judgments. I'm not smart enough. People don't like me. People don't want me to be here. when really I was making it to be all about me. The story that I was telling me about didn't take into account other people's insecurities. It didn't take into account the fact that other people probably aren't even thinking about me, aren't even thinking about if I'm smart or not, or if I know anything about music or not. They're probably thinking about them. They're probably telling themselves their own story. And so we have this tendency as human beings to create a story and then to stick with it, right? That's my story and I'm sticking with it. But the problem with that is it holds us back, you guys. It keeps us from enjoying ourselves, from experiencing true belonging. Because we will never belong if we're not being true to who we are. We will never feel like we fit in if we are not being ourselves. We will never feel loved if we do not love who we are first. That is what is on my heart today. That is what I feel like needs to be shared, and we need to hear it over and over and over again. Our belonging starts with belonging to ourselves. Being love starts with loving ourselves first. Being healed starts with healing ourselves first. We have a responsibility to ourselves to tell ourselves the truth and to live our truth every single day. And it's when we begin to do that that we will truly belong. It's when we begin to do that that we will feel loved. And that we can start to see the stories that aren't true, the stories that we believed for so long, that we said were ours, that we believed as fact, as unchangeable. No story is unchangeable. No story is unchangeable. If you're listening to this today, there's a reason. What is your story? What is the story that you're telling yourself right now? And do you need to change that? Is it time for you to belong to you? Is it time for you to love you? This is from my heart today. And I share this with you because I listen to my inner voice. And I do what it asks of me. And this is what it asks of me today. What is your story? I will let you know that no matter what that is, you are loved, you matter, and you are worthy.